Namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Gautam Roy. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India and the US are engaged in bilateral trade talks in New Delhi as America's trade representative Brendan Lynch reaches the national capital on Monday night. Rains wreak havoc in India's hill states of Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. A series of cloudbursts and landslides are reported. Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes stock of the situation and assures all possible support. Jerusalem categorically rejects a UN probe which suggests Israel has been committing genocide in Gaza since October 2023. Moves ahead with its ground offensive in Gaza City. And the International Cricket Council formally rejects Pakistan Cricket Board's request to replace match referee Andy Pycroft during the ongoing Asia Cup following the handshake controversy. India and the US have reinitiated bilateral trade talks in New Delhi following the late Monday night arrival of US Assistant Trade Representative Brendan Lynch. He is holding a meeting with India's chief trade negotiator Rajesh Agrawal, who is also Special Secretary in the Department of Commerce. The discussions aim to advance the bilateral trade agreement, or the BTA, talks of which were launched in March 2025. Focused on resolving US tariffs on Indian goods and boosting trade in various sectors, including services and manufacturing. The negotiators are targeting a first phase deal by November. In the meeting today, both the countries are trying to make a basic framework of easing out tariff imposed on each other's goods and services. Earlier, both the countries had set a bilateral trade target of $500 billion by 2030. Mauritius Prime Minister Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam, who is in India on a visit, has been undertaking a tour of many states. On the last day of his visit, that's today, he has paid tributes to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat in the national capital. He's also paid tribute to former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee at Sadaiv Atal. The Mauritian PM also met the 15th Vice President of India, C.P. Radhakrishnan, at the Vice President's enclave in New Delhi. During what has been a week-long visit, several MOUs have been inked for cooperation in technology development projects with India. Mauritius Prime Minister, along with Prime Minister Modi, announced that both the countries are not just partners but a family. Let's now take a look at the bilateral relations between India and Mauritius. Well, India and Mauritius share close relations due to shared history, demography and culture, with nearly 70% of Mauritius's 1.2 million population being of Indian origin. Both the nations have close collaboration in maritime security, development partnerships, capacity building, international fora, technical assistance via Indian experts and vibrant cultural exchanges. There have been numerous development projects supported by India which are prominent across Mauritius, including the Indian Cultural Centre, World Hindi Secretariat and Mahatma Gandhi Institute. Over 100 Mauritian socio-cultural organizations preserve and promote Indian heritage and culture there in Mauritius. Now, India's Minister of Home Affairs Amit Shah has inaugurated the second National Conference of Heads of Anti-Narcotics Task Force, that's ANTF, in New Delhi on Tuesday. Themed United Resolve, Shared Responsibility, the conference is being organized by Narcotics Control Bureau. The two-day conference also serves as a strategic platform to reinforce Prime Minister Modi's commitment to a drug-free India and to formulate a roadmap to achieve this goal. Addressing the opening session, Home Minister Shah said that for a Viksit Bharat, that is developed India, we need to protect our youth from the grapples or the grip of drugs.
ऐसा भारत जो हर क्षेत्र में समूचे विश्व में सर्वप्रथम होगा, ऐसा भारत जो पूर्णतः विकसित होगा, ऐसा भारत जिसकी सुरक्षा की दीवारें इतनी अभेद होगी कि जिसको लांघने की कोई कल्पना ही न कर सके। अगर ऐसे भारत की रचना करनी है तो हमारी युवा पीढ़ी को ड्रग के दूषण से बचाना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि किसी भी महान राज्य की संकल्पना, इसकी नींव उस देश की युवा पीढ़ी होती है।
Now, in a major success against Maoists, a joint team of 208 Cobra Battalion, CRPF and Chhattisgarh Police recovered a huge stock of explosive material and weapon manufacturing equipment in Kanchala forest area. Forces conducted a search and combing operation in Kanchala forest in Bijapur, Chhattisgarh, and recovered a cache of arms, ammunition and explosives from Naxal dump. Items including BGL launcher, Bharmar gun, 6 BGL rounds, 4 directional mines, detonators, Cortex wire, Maoist uniforms and literature have been handed over to the local police. 5 Bangladeshi students of National Institute of Technology, Silchar, have been suspended for involvement in violent clashes in the campus. The decision was taken after clashes between two groups of students had turned violent, causing injuries to few students last week. An inquiry committee was constituted for investigation of the case, and according to the recommendations of the inquiry committee, 5 students were suspended for a period of 1 year. If the 5 suspended students are Bangladeshi nationals, the director ruled out involvement of any Indian students in the incident. Military contingents from India and the US engaged in 2-week spectrum of tactical drills, including the integrated use of artillery, aviation and electronic warfare systems as part of a bilateral exercise in Alaska. The exercise began on the 1st of September with the initial days featuring command post exercises where staff officers from both the sides planned together on ops, command and control and battlefield enablers. Field training followed, patrols, small unit maneuvers and tactical drills in sub-Arctic terrain. Subsequently, joint artillery units conducted live fire drills at the Yukon training area. Medical readiness was another focus area. India and US teams trained on casualty evacuation, frostbite prevention, high altitude physiology and force health protection. The final phase saw integrated operations with infantry, artillery, aviation, electronic warfare and counter-drone systems under joint command. Riyadh witnessed a vibrant celebration of Hindi Divas as the Embassy of India hosted a cultural program that brought together Saudi nationals and students of Indian schools. The event featured speeches and songs in Hindi by Saudi participants alongside captivating performances by students offering a vivid display of the language's richness and diversity. Students of Indian schools and children of the embassy community added further charm with colorful cultural preparations which drew enthusiastic response. India's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Dr. Suhail Ajaz Khan, underscored the government of India's commitment to the promotion of Hindi.
हमें गर्व होना चाहिए कि हम उस देश के नागरिक हैं जहां हिंदी जैसी समृद्ध भाषा बोली जाती है। आज हिंदी भाषा की लोकप्रियता भारत की सीमाओं को पार कर चुकी है। इसका एक अद्भुत उदाहरण आज हमारे बीच शामिल हमारे सऊदी मित्रों से मिला है, जो बॉलीवुड फिल्मों और गीतों से प्रभावित हुए और उन्होंने स्वयं हिंदी भाषा सीखने का निश्चय किया। हिंदी फिल्मों की भावनात्मक अभिव्यक्ति, संवादों की गहराई और गीतों की मिठास में उन्होंने हिंदी के प्रति एक गहरी जिज्ञासा और प्रेम पैदा किया।
At the invitation of Papua New Guinea, India's Minister of State for External Affairs, Pavitra Margarita, has met the Indian diaspora there. During his interaction, the minister said that Indian community in PNG are a living bridge between the two countries, playing a pivotal role in strengthening the partnership through cultural, economic and community contributions. And still to come on DD India NewsHour. Newly appointed Nepalese Home Minister says the interim government will fulfill its mandate to conduct free and fair elections by March next year. The Indian Army's Trishakti warriors showcase exceptional endurance over 6 days and nights in Sikkim's rugged wilderness.
Welcome to DD India, where a billion voices unite, connecting viewers to the stories that matter. India is not just another news channel. It's the international channel that puts the spotlight on the global south, bringing you stories from the heart of emerging economies, dynamic cultures and transformative voices. As the international news channel of India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati, DD India delivers high-quality content from every corner of the globe, focusing on the stories that shape our future. We don't just report news. We connect you to India's voice in the global narrative. From current affairs to culture, from economic growth to sustainable development and the ever-evolving world order, DD India gives you a comprehensive view of the world around us. Stay connected, stay informed, and embrace the stories that shape our lives. DD India, India's
Welcome back. You're watching DD India NewsHour. I am Gautam Roy. Now, let's turn to Himachal Pradesh, one of India's hill states, where extremely heavy spell of rains in the capital Shimla and surrounding areas has put life completely out of gear. Heavy overnight rain triggered floods and landslides in and around Cart Road and traffic artery, which is the traffic artery of Shimla. Many vehicles, including buses, were swept away and shops were damaged. In southwestern Bilaspur's Ghumarveed subdivision, the Sir Khad river was flowing at its highest level today. Authorities continue to monitor the situation. Let's get you a live ground report. We have DD India's Rachna Verma joining us from Shimla in Himachal Pradesh for more updates. Good afternoon to you, Rachna. Now, Himachal has already been hit very hard by surplus monsoon rains this year. To what extent has the situation worsened now with the latest downpours?
Absolutely, Gautam. With a very heavy heart, I have to inform you that Himachal Pradesh from the past 2 months have been facing devastating ecological devastation in Himachal Pradesh. And last night was no different. You know, Mandi district hit again. There was a 2 major landslide which happens in Mandi district. One incident happened in Dharampur Tehsil and another one is Nihali Panchayat, where the last night water landslides and flash flood and sludged submerged the local bus station. Apart from that, it was reported that there was one hostel as well, where around 150 students were there, and they have to went up to 3rd floor of the building to save them. So later on, they were rescued by the administration. But it was a very difficult night for them. Whereas in another panchayat, one family has lost 2 members of their family, in which there was a 9 months years old baby as well, and 2 women as well. So in totality, if I may see that, as you can see behind me as well, the rainfall is still going on. So I feel that this is a very catastrophic monsoon. While it is on the verge of leaving, but still it is very catastrophic for the local people, because they are not getting, the moment they are thinking that now it's going to be end, now it pours again. So it is creating a lot of difficulties for local people and for the administration as well.
Yes, certainly one can imagine how woeful the situation might be. But Rachna, This must have affected even some of the reconstruction work which perhaps might have started apart from what has already been going on in terms of recovery. How are the people being helped by different institutions of both the government and even non-governmental?
Definitely, lots of NGOs are coming up, but the problem comes in that the moment they restore one area, or specifically the roads, which has been already damaged, national highways specifically. The moment they repair it, again one more flash flood come in and they destroy the previous work. So it is increasing the difficulties. Though we have noticed this thing as well, that communities are coming up in Himachal Pradesh. Local communities are coming up. Local villages are coming up together. They are building their small paths, roads, so that they can bring out the basic amenities to themselves by walking miles away. Recently, a very popular village called Malana has reported that they are traveling around 15 to 20 kilometers on taking ration 15 to 20 kilometers on their shoulders, because the village is completely cut off from the main city. So that is also, it is not only one village which is facing, there are lots of village in Sanch Valley as well, and so as in Mandi district as well, where the electricity is also not there, so the communication is also not there. So people are grouping up, they are coming down and they are taking up ration for whole communities and for whole villages. So lots of help is coming up, because administration is also not able to reach out to every district and every village because of the destructions of roads, electricity and communication.
Right.
Though they are trying their best to reach out.
Okay. Very tough situation indeed. Rachna, thanks a lot for that update from Shimla. Now, in Uttarakhand, the weather department has issued a warning for heavy to very heavy rainfall in 7 districts for today. And in view of the heavy downpour, schools are closed in Nainital, Dehradun, Chamoli and other districts. Now, continuous rain in the state halted Kedarnath highway after boulder crashes down amid rain fury in Rudraprayag. A cloud burst also took place at Karlighar Sahasradhara in the night. Rescue and relief operations of district administration have been on. The district administration has shifted the affected people to safe places as well. Additionally, a bridge near Fan Valley and Uttarakhand Dental College on the Dehradun-Haridwar National Highway has been damaged, further disrupting traffic in the region. And in Uttarakhand's Rishikesh, the water level of the Chandrabhaga River has risen significantly, raising concerns among locals and the authorities. As rains have been wreaking havoc in parts of the state, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami took stock of the situation in the affected areas and assured all possible help. Earlier, Uttarakhand Chief Minister briefed Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. They were informed about the relief and rescue operations being carried out in the affected areas. Later, he shared the information on X, saying that in this difficult time of disaster, we stand with the affected families with full commitment and are providing them with every possible assistance. Let's now get you an update from Nepal. Newly appointed Home Minister Om Prakash Aryal has said that the interim government aims to conduct elections in a free and impartial atmosphere. Addressing the media, he said that the government was formed with this explicit mandate, while emphasizing the need to rebuild physical structures damaged during the protests. He also vowed an investigation into the alleged excessive use of force during the demonstrations. Sri Lanka's Health and Mass Media Minister Narendra Jayatissa has announced that the ministry is planning health and wellness centres called Arogya based on Indian primary healthcare system. The event to commemorate the 79th Independence Day of India was attended by High Commissioner of India Santosh Jha, officials from the Indian Mission, members of the Indian community and Friends of India. Speaking at the commemoration dinner of Sri Lanka India Society, Jayatissa said that the focus and framework of the system will be similar to Indian systems which he witnessed during his recent visit to India. The minister also invited Indian firms to set up pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities in Sri Lanka.
And now we are going to implement the system of strengthening the primary health care. I named this program as Arogya. The focus and the framework of this healthcare system is very much similar. I would take this opportunity to invite you to start manufacturing sites in pharmaceutical and medical and surgical devices here.
World Ozone Day is being observed today with the aim to raise awareness about the protective ozone layer in our atmosphere, often referred to as Earth's umbrella. This day highlights the significance of the ozone layer in shielding the planet and emphasizes the need for its conservation. World Ozone Day serves as a reminder of the commitment to protect this vital resource, which helps prevent harmful ultraviolet or UV radiation from reaching the Earth's surface. Meanwhile, according to the United Nations, ozone layer continues to heal in 2024, putting it on track for full recovery by mid-century. Latest reports showed that the ozone hole last year was smaller than in recent years. It added that changes in policies and climate change related events such as wildfires, however, could delay the recovery. India has exported its first ever organic tea shipment from West Bengal to Taiwan, marking a major milestone in agri-trade. The export was facilitated by APIDA under the National Programme for Organic Products. Union Minister Piyush Goyal highlighted the milestone on Twitter or X, calling it a boost for Swadeshi organic products and a win for sustainable farming. The move is expected to benefit tea growers and expand India's presence in global organic markets. Let's now take a look at some other stories making news around the country. Well, the Trishakti warriors of the Trishakti Corps, the Indian Army, showcase exceptional endurance in Sikkim's rugged terrain, carrying full battle loads for 6 days and nights. With technological aids, it is grit, resilience and willpower that truly define a soldier's strength, highlighting the unwavering spirit of India's armed forces. The Income Tax Department has extended the ITR filing deadline for the financial year 2025-26 to the 16th of September this year, which is today. Originally set for 31st of July, the first move was made till 15th September and it was further extended. The e-filing portal will be under maintenance from midnight to 2:30 a.m. on the 16th of September. Taxpayers have been urged to file early. Kerala has reported a new cluster of primary amoebic meningoencephalitis cases in August-September 2025, caused by the Naegleria flowery amoeba. PAM leads to severe brain inflammation and can be fatal. The state has adopted NCDC guidelines for prevention and treatment. Enhanced surveillance and health measures are being implemented due to the high fatality rate. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis chaired a crucial meeting on developing a comprehensive cancer treatment policy for Maharashtra. The CM directed the Medical Education and Drugs departments to create a strategy ensuring cancer care facilities are accessible across all districts. He also emphasized on completing the Sant Tugdoji Maharaj Cancer Hospital in Nagpur and assured additional funds for its fast-track completion. India's commitment to sustainability and climate action under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Modi has been reinforced through the recent GST rationalization. Aligned with national initiatives like Viksit Bharat 2047 or Developed India 2047 and the Life movement, these changes support India's net zero 2070 ambition. GST has been reduced on solar and wind devices from 12 to 5%, which will directly decrease the capital costs of solar panels, PV cells, wind turbines and related devices. GST rates on services provided by common effluent treatment plant from 12% to 5% will also motivate industries to use centralized waste treatment methods. GST reduction on biodegradable bags from 18 to 5% makes them more affordable, encouraging consumers and retailers to move away from single-use plastics. GST rate reduction from 28 to 18% in the case of buses, while seating capacity of 10 plus persons will reduce the upfront cost of buses and minibuses. Trucks are the backbone of India's supply chain, carrying 65 to 70% of goods traffic. The GST rate cut on commercial goods vehicles from 28 to 18% will encourage fleet expansion and modernization, thereby phasing out older vehicles and leading to lower pollution and emissions. Chairperson of Lifeline Multi-Speciality Hospital has said that 60% of Tamil Nadu is engaged in some way with agriculture and agro products. The recent modification on GST has given a big relief to all farmers. Listen in.
60% of Tamil Nadu is engaged in some way in agriculture or in farming. The recent GST drop from 12% to 5% on tractors, agricultural machinery, biopesticides and factors towards integrated farming. This is a historic move done by the government of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Why? Because by reducing the tax from 12% to 5%, the cost of production of the crops, cost of harvesting, cost of pesticide, they all go down sharply, and this enables the farmers to come around and save themselves. So I really thank and congratulate the government on behalf of the 1 crore farmers of Tamil Nadu.
And still to come on DD India NewsHour. US President Donald Trump announces a fresh strike on a boat carrying alleged drug traffickers in the Caribbean. The US and China say they've reached a framework deal on the sale of TikTok, which will be finalized on Friday after Trump and Xi phone call.
The US launched a bombing campaign against Iran. The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
Exactly what to save your.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Gautam Roy, and before we go any further, another look at our top stories. India and the US re-engage in bilateral trade talks in New Delhi as America's trade representative Brandon Lynch reaches Monday night. Jerusalem categorically rejects UN probe which suggests Israel has been committing genocide in Gaza since October 2023. Moves ahead with its ground offensive in Gaza City. And the International Cricket Council rejects Pakistan Cricket Board's request to replace match referee Andy Pycroft during the ongoing Asia Cup following the controversy around handshakes. Now, tensions are escalating in the Middle East or West Asia as an emergency summit of Arab and Muslim nations has condemned Israel's airstrike on the Qatari capital in Doha. Yet again, Israel is going ahead with its campaign to take over Gaza City. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has met with Qatar's Al Thani after his Israel visit. Take a look at these details.
In a historic meeting, nearly 60 member states of the Arab League and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation gathered in Doha. Leaders sent a strong message denouncing Israel's actions and standing in solidarity with Qatar. The meeting in Doha brought together leaders from Qatar, GCC, Arab League, and OIC. The Gulf Cooperation Council is taking immediate action. Military consultations are already underway to bolster the region's defense capabilities. The stakes are high. The GCC's Unified Military Command is set to meet soon in Doha, where the next steps will be determined in the face of mounting threats.
We also expect our strategic partners in the United States to use their influence on Israel in order for it to stop this behavior. We really do expect that. They have leverage and influence on Israel, and it's about time that this leverage and influence to be used.
While Israel is in no mood to stop, its military forces have yet again intensified their ground offensive in Gaza City. Despite the growing international outcry, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made it clear Israel will not back down. Meanwhile, in Jerusalem, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio expressed unwavering support for Israel's mission to eradicate Hamas, a sharp contrast to Qatari efforts which are working towards ceasefire negotiations. And he avoided to use the word sovereignty in context of Qatar in front of Netanyahu. Qatar, home to the largest US airbase in the region, plays a pivotal role in these developments. With US officials reaffirming support for the Gulf state's sovereignty, Qatar's influence is crucial in shaping the course of this conflict. As reports surface that Hamas may be using hostages as human shields, the world watches closely, hoping for a breakthrough but fearing further escalation. The world is at a critical crossroad. The fate of the region now rests on these critical consultations. The message is clear. The security of the Gulf will not be compromised, and those who threaten it will face an iron resolve. Will peace prevail, or will this conflict spiral further out of control?
Now, a United Nations Commission of Inquiry has concluded its probe on Tuesday on Israel's actions in Gaza, blaming Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other top officials for incitement. The UN report cites examples of the scale of the killings, aid blockages, forced displacement and destruction of a fertility clinic to back up its genocide finding, adding its voice to rights groups and others who have reached the same conclusion. But Israel immediately said it categorically rejects the report, with the Foreign Ministry describing it as a distorted and false and calling for the immediate abolition of this Commission of Inquiry. Israeli ambassador to the UN in Geneva has called the report scandalous and fake, saying it had been authored by Hamas proxies.
Israel categorically rejects the libelous rant published today by this Commission of Inquiry. It spreads the malicious genocide narrative. The report diverges from the mandate of the Commission, yet again stressing their biased analysis. It has systematically dismissed Hamas's atrocities. Throughout the 72 pages of this paper that the COI presented, the COI promotes a narrative serving Hamas and its supporters in attempting to delegitimize and demonize the State of Israel.
So it's a big indictment for Israel, but it has not accepted it at all. In fact, it's pressing on with its ground offensive in Gaza City, reaching the center of Gaza City as well. That's the latest update. Let's talk more about these developments. In West Asia, we have Dr. Khenraj Jangid with us. He's a West Asian expert from the Opal Jindal Global University. Good afternoon to you, Professor. What do you make of these circumstances? It's quite strange that on one hand you have a so-called talk of peace process that the US keeps talking about, saying that there's still a sliver of a window of opportunity, but at the same time you have Israel, which is completely undaunted by any sort of finding against it or any sort of comment against it, condemnation coming in from the Arab and Islamic countries as well of what happened in Doha, but nothing is really changing on the ground, and it does seem that peace has no chance there.
It is indeed a very sad case that peace seems as far as one could really think of. Netanyahu and Israel's attack on Qatar is very paradoxical. Just to share this inside Israeli story, Netanyahu for last 7-8 years allowed Qatar to fund Hamas in Gaza. It was a policy where Qatar was given direct access to Hamas, and Netanyahu used Qatar. He did enjoy very warm relations backdoor with Qataris, and he thought Qatar money will create Hamas as a rival to Fatah, and it will keep the Palestinian national movement divided, which will benefit Israel's unilateralism. So he actually has very close encounters and engagement with Qatar. Then came a very famous scandal in Israeli politics in the last 2 years during the war called Qatar Gate. 2 of his topmost aides that he appointed in his own office are under trial and indicted for taking money for Qatar. So he is actually facing tremendous kind of domestic challenges for his dealings with Qatar. Now, I think it's very interesting that he wanted to attack Hamas leaders in Qatar when Mossad refused to carry that operation. He is still insisted because his, I think, very visible loss in Gaza is taking his popularity down. And in order to show that he is acting very strong and he is eradicating Hamas.
I'm sorry, could you elaborate on what exactly do you mean when you say visible loss in Gaza?
Visible loss meaning Israelis as well as the whole outside world is now fully aware that Hamas is not defeated and Israel is continuing with a very lost battle. It's a very disillusioned war. The chief of his staff that was appointed by Netanyahu himself has said this to the cabinet in the last 1 month 3 times, that military will not be able to defeat Hamas, that Israeli war cabinet should make a political decision for a hostage deal. In fact, there is a very famous picture of him shouting and punching a table in front of the Prime Minister saying, take the hostage deal because we can't defeat Hamas even if we take the whole of Gaza city. So he's exposed. In the domestic politics, he stands very exposed where the army is not with him anymore on Gaza. And his war in Gaza is taking the country nowhere. And his attempt to assassinate some people of Hamas in Qatar could have given him that public face saving. So it didn't happen for him. And that's why Donald Trump is also very unhappy with this attack on Qatar.
But we saw yesterday Marco Rubio standing right beside Benjamin Netanyahu saying that in a way parroting his own words that Hamas are they're barbarians and they have to be eliminated, that people in Gaza will keep suffering as long as Hamas is around.
Well, that's the classic double-speak diplomacy. So if Trump is saying that Qatar is the great ally of America and Israel should be very careful in its handling of relations with Qatar, he's drawing a very red line that Qatar should not be attacked like this. He did say that, yes, I allow and I do believe that Israel should fight Hamas wherever they can, which meant that Qatar should be left out. I think Trump doesn't want this war to spill over to the other players in the Gulf, and he is deeply worried what unilateral Netanyahu can be in the coming days.
So, do we see any sort of solution emerging at the moment, or will this conflict just keep dragging on? And where does that really leave the Gazans? Even in West Bank, you have settlers moving in very violent fashion almost every day.
Yes, solution for whom? I think you are right. Solution for the West Bank is also certainly not visible, because Israeli government allows the settlers to really conduct terrible violence every night almost now. Solution for the people of Gaza is really not any feasible, because Hamas doesn't care about what's going to happen to the people of Gaza now. Otherwise, Hamas would go for a deal. But Hamas is holding a very maximalist position in the bargain with Israel. Solution for the solution for the Israeli hostages is also extremely far. Just yesterday, hostage family members almost reached Jerusalem outside of his residence and manhandled him, meaning the tension and the very, very high violent protest on the street is an everyday reality in Israel. So the people of Israel are also in a complete shattered, mode. So I think it's a complete, in a way, chaos for all stakeholders or all the parties involved. And I don't think there is any solution nearby. I mean, it is sad to say, but it is still a fact to say that the only person who can really change the course of events in the Middle East is, unfortunately, sits in Washington, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And he seems to be fine with it right now.
Well, let's see what he has to say with this report, genocide report coming out, and what do the other Western allies say? They've already been saying that they will support giving some sort of an official recognition to the Palestinian state. Let's see in what more ways can further pressure be built upon, well, essentially Donald Trump himself, because Benjamin Netanyahu is, as long as Donald Trump supports him, is going to remain unstoppable, because that perpetuates his rule as far as Jerusalem is concerned. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment, Professor. Now, US President Donald Trump has announced a new military strike on a boat carrying alleged drug traffickers in the Caribbean on Monday. 3 men have been killed in the strike. Trump has termed the violent drug trafficking cartels narco-terrorists. This development has come after US forces struck a boat that Trump said was carrying massive amounts of drugs from Venezuela, killing 11 people. 5 US F-35 aircraft were seen landing in Puerto Rico, along with 1 nuclear-powered submarine, after the Trump administration ordered 10 of the stealth fighters to join the build-up.
What can you tell us about this Venezuelan boat that was taken out? And do you plan to provide proof that these were narco-terrorists who were on their way to the U.S.?
Well, we have proof. All you have to do is look at the cargo that was, like, it's spattered all over the ocean. Big bags of cocaine and fentanyl all over the place. And it was, plus we have recorded evidence that they were leaving. We've recorded them. It was very careful, because we know you people would be after us. We're very careful. The military has been amazing.
US and Chinese officials have said on Monday they have reached a framework agreement to switch short video app TikTok to US-controlled ownership, though it will be confirmed in a Friday call between US President Trump and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping, according to China's top trade negotiator Li Chengyang. And the potential deal on TikTok, which counts 170 million US users, was a rare breakthrough in the months-long talks. The US has cited national security concerns to block shipments of semiconductors and other advanced technology to China, and to ban Chinese products which Washington has concluded could be used to spy on Americans or gather intelligence. And still to come on DD India NewsHour. An Indian skater scripts sporting history with the nation's first ever gold at the Speed Skating World Championships.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says, supply creates its own demand between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, gold prices have hit a record high of $3,685.39 per ounce on Monday, driven by a weaker US dollar and falling treasury yields. Now, investors are betting on a Federal Reserve rate cut this week, which could make gold even more attractive. Strong global demand, especially from China, is fueling the competition. With inflation rising and job data softening in the US, markets expect more rate cuts ahead. On the other hand, silver and platinum also gained, while palladium dipped slightly. In the coming days, gold prices are expected to go above $3,700 and beyond per ounce as it continues to shine in uncertain times. And now it's time to get you some sporting updates as well, starting with what's happening as far as the Asia Cup is concerned, where Bangladesh and Afghanistan are set for a high-stakes Group B clash in the Asia Cup 2025 at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi on Tuesday. For Bangladesh, it's a must-win game. They opened with a victory over Hong Kong but were handed a heavy defeat by Sri Lanka, which also hit their net run rate. Even if the Tigers beat Afghanistan, their qualification isn't guaranteed. Should Afghanistan later upset Sri Lanka on the 18th of September, all three teams would end on 4 points with net run rate deciding who goes through. Meanwhile, Afghanistan would want to qualify for the next stage early. A win against Bangladesh would book their place in the Super 4 and lift them to the top of the group, sparing them a nervous wait for the final group game. Now, the International Cricket Council on Tuesday rejected the Pakistan Cricket Board's demand to remove match referee Andy Pycroft from the panel of officials for the ongoing Asia Cup. The PCB had filed a complaint with the ICC alleging that Pycroft asked Pakistan captain Salman Ali Agha at the time of the toss not to shake hands with his Indian counterpart Suryakumar Yadav. ICC has cleared the air through an official letter. They explained that it was actually the Asian Cricket Council officials on the ground who informed Pycroft about the no-handshake policy at the toss. Let's take you straight across to Dubai. My colleague Abhishek Mahajan joins us from there to talk about this, twist in the tail, really, Abhishek, isn't it? Because the PCB seemed very, very upset by what had happened as far as this handshake matter was concerned. It was asking for Pycroft removal, but ICC said, hello, not happening.
Absolutely, Gautam. In fact, they have become a laughing stock. I mean, why to create a controversy? I mean, it's not even under MCC law. There's no rule. There's no law that you are going to shake hands. And it was the question. The same question was asked from Suryakumar Yadav at the last game after at the post-match press conference, and he said that it was decided beforehand. It was not impromptu. It was not that Salman Ali Agha, Pakistan captain, had come to shake hands and Suryakumar Yadav had rejected it. It didn't happen like that. Everyone knew, ICC knew, ACC knew, ACC who is conducting this tournament, Pakistan players also knew, Pakistan management also knew that Indian captain is not going to shake hand. Suryakumar Yadav did not shake hand at the toss also, and the Indian team decided not to shake hands after the match got over also. And Suryakumar Yadav said that certain things are beyond the spirit of cricket, and why to create this controversy? Instead, they should focus on their game. One of the reasons that this is happening is because of Mohsin Naqvi. Mohsin Naqvi is PCB chairman also, he is ACC chairman also, and he is the Interior Minister of Pakistan also. And if you look at his X account also, there have been a series of posts where he's saying that I stand with Pakistan. I mean, more than Pakistan's integrity, more than Pakistan's prestige, nothing matters to me more. But again, I mean, there is no controversy. The Indian team decided not to shake hands. And why to bring the match referee in all these things? Because Pycroft communicated this to Pakistan team management, and ACC officials also knew. So ACC officials told a match referee, and he has also been alleged of acting on India's behest. Why is, I mean, how come he's acting on India's behest? I mean, it was told to him, and it was communicated to Pakistan officials, and it was communicated to the Indian team also. And Surya Kumar Yadav also said that we are completely aligned with BCCI's policy and government of India's policy. And Pakistan has been whining. I don't know why. I mean, if you see, Pakistan was no match. I mean, there was a huge gulf between how India played and how Pakistan played. Instead, they should focus on the game. They are playing UAE tomorrow. They have also said, Monsoon has also said that they're going to withdraw from the tournament if this is not accepted. Now it has been rejected. Are they going to withdraw from the tournament? That's the biggest question, but I don't think that will happen. But the news is that Pakistan's demand of ousting Andy Pycroft from the entire Asia Cup tournament has been rejected. And in fact, for our viewers, Andy Pycroft officiated in the last game that happened in Abu Dhabi between Sri Lanka and Hong Kong.
But Abhishek, this essentially a politician made it such a big issue, you know, seeking the removal of the match referee. Now that demand has been rejected, this is going to be another slap in the face, and the ball is in his court if he was serious. Although I did not see any official comments where it was specified that Pakistan will boycott if this match referee is not, you know, removed or changed or whatever. What will Pakistan do now?
There's no option. I mean, it was not official. Pakistan did not say it official, but Mohsin Naqvi said it. He posted it on his X account, and then they deleted it. And when we spoke to him, I mean, he said that we are going to withdraw. There is no option at all. So are they going to withdraw? They are playing UAE tomorrow. Are they going to play this match or not? There has been no official comment at all. But yes, ICC has completely rejected it, and it had to happen because, like I said earlier, there is no law, there is no MCC law. I mean, it depends on the team, it depends on the spirit of cricket, and whatever has happened between India and Pakistan of late. I mean, Surya Kumar Yadav also dedicated this win against Pakistan to the armed forces, and he said that we stand by with the families of Pahalgam victims, stand by with the victims also. So there is no point. I mean, it was decided by the team management, and it was told beforehand to the Pakistan officials, ACC officials, and it was decided beforehand that they're not going to shake hands. And the same question was Gautam asked from Ryan Dushkate, also was the assistant coach of India. He said that yes, I mean, it's a professional commitment. We have to play against Pakistan, and we are playing this tournament. It's like any other game. Like UAE is part of the tournament, like Oman is part of the tournament, like Pakistan is also part of the tournament. So we are here to win the tournament, and it's just a professional commitment.
Certainly. Well, I'm glad that India did play Pakistan, although it was a big issue here as well. But this again has provided us an opportunity to expose Pakistan at well, another really format, really, where in the sporting arena as well, Pakistan stands completely exposed and shamed. Thanks a lot for joining us for a moment, Abhishek. Now, India scripted historic moment in global skating as well as Anand Kumar Velkumar clinched the country's first ever gold at the Speed Skating World Championships in China on Monday. The 22-year-old speedster powered to victory in the senior men's 1,000-meter sprint with a timing of 1:24.294, becoming India's first world champion in the sport. With 2 historic bronzes in a month, his success marks a breakthrough for Indian speed skating and signals a bright future for the sport in the country. And Prime Minister Modi has congratulated Velkumar as well in a social media post. He said, and I quote, "Proud of Anand Velkumar for winning the gold at the senior men's 1,000-meter sprint in the Speed Skating World Championships 2025. His grit, speed and spirit have made him India's first world champion in skating. His accomplishment will inspire countless youngsters. Congratulations to him and best wishes for all future endeavours." And we have DD India's Narayan Singh joining us from the newsroom to talk about more about it. Narayan, quite a day there. Just tell us a little bit more about Vel Kumar and tell us what does this really tell India and the world about, in which way and how Indian sport is progressing?
Gautam, talking about it's a big achievement for the Indian sports, especially the way Vel Kumar won the medal, a gold medal at the World Championship. If you take a look, a few days back, he won a bronze medal at the same event, and he became the first Indian to win a senior medal for the India at the World Championship. And after that, he is once again creating history and winning the first ever gold medal for the India at the World Championship. It shows that the India is progressing in all sports, not only the sports where we were strong, but in the sports where we were traditionally considered weak. And now India is not only dominating the handful of sports, but the sports where we were not strong. So it shows that the government of India has laid out a strong foundation for the sports. Now they are just have the sporting facilities all across the India for the sports like speed skating too. So that's why we are progressing, and the athletes like Vel Kumar, who showed his brilliance 4 years ago when he won a silver medal at the World Championship at the junior level. So there is no dearth of talent in India, and our athletes, when they are getting the right facilities, right exposure, they had showed to the nation that they have the capability to win the medal at the international level also. It was actually a double delight for the India, because the Krish Sharma also won a bronze medal in the same event, in the same championship at the junior level. So it shows that we have a strong pool of the elite athletes, and also a strong bench strength where the juniors too are performing well. And we can see that the way there is a ambition, the sporting ambition of the PM Modi to put India on the global map. Now we are not only doing well in the we can say the sports where we are strong, but in the non-traditional sports, like if you take a look, fencing, where Bhavani Devi performing well, and other athletes in equestrian too, we are doing well.
Yes, certainly. Let's hope that we keep building on that progress. And once again, congratulations to Vel Kumar in particular and all Indians in general. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment, Narayan. Now, Thailand is moving to delist the red-whiskered bulbul from its protected wildlife list. The plan seeks to reclassify the popular songbird as an economic species following decades of unofficial breeding and trade. The move will go ahead only with strict regulations to safeguard wild populations. And that's all we have for this edition of DD India NewsHour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. Just scan the QR code on the screen, download the app. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India NewsHour.